early. What's good, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Early.
Appreciate
we
y'all.
are back. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Subscribe.
I was about to say, before we get started, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
Like,
also follow our Instagram. Follow our Instagram.
For sure, new Instagram up early, the morning show. Simple. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and tap into that.
Yep, you'll see at the bottom right there. Go ahead and follow.
Brooke, how your week been, bro?
It's been cool. You know, March Madness. So I definitely been locked in, you know.
Have you? I haven't been as tapped into March Madness this year.
No. I mean, all right, let me edit it, bro. I have not tuned into March Madness at all.
Not like you usually
tuned into the Final Four.
Oh yeah.
The championship game.
Facts.
Yeah, let me be clear about that.
You don't gotta watch the lead up to all of the. You know what I'm saying?
I just haven't cared. Just been doing other types things.
Yeah.
Fucking with these meme coins in the crypto market. That's been really fun.
So your attention has just been elsewhere.
Yeah, been doing that. Been shooting some visuals and things of that nature. Everything going well on my end, bro. But definitely staying busy. What about yourself though?
Me same actually. Like I haven't really been, like watching TV, watching sports or nothing like that. But been busy with work, you know what I'm saying, editing, you know what I'm saying, so kind of just been busy. But of course I'm always like just tapped into what's going on in the sports world, so I definitely have been paying attention to, but I feel like I've been more intrigued with the women's tournament than the men's tournament this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody has that feeling.
Really? Yeah, that sentiment reigns true with a lot of folks.
That's one of those.
I can't hear you guys talking to me.
That's one of those. Everybody's going to that. That's like the consensus.
There's some shorties that's just like really balling right now. Like Caitlin Clark is incredible. You know what I'm saying? Not just her. But also like South Carolina. What's the old girl's name? Corrado or Corrado, something like that.
Yeah, and then also got Juju.
Yeah, Juju Watkins, Paige Buchers. You know what I'm saying? Like Angel Reese had a great that game was that Elite 8 game that they lost. Like she still had a great 20 rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
Teammate as well. She a baller too.
Yeah, Flage, and Haley Van Lith, is typically a baller.
That's the thing. It's about stars, nowadays with these leagues, even doesn't even necessarily have to be professional level, like even at that collegiate level.
Yeah.
Wherever the stars at, that's even where the casual fans are going to gravitate towards, and even just regular fans of basketball. And when you look to the men's, I feel like there's just a lack of that name,
that star power.
And at the same time, too, even the brands are not the same as what they were because of the NIL.
I was just going to say, I feel like the brands have gotten stronger. Are you saying that they haven't gotten stronger?
The thing is, I feel like the NCAA were always trying to cap what I guess players could do with their brand and things like that.
Yeah.
It's ever since now this shift has happened, and that's no longer the case. I feel like and this is also interesting. I gotta relay to you the story, but there's this other league that's trying to come out as an alternative for collegiate athletes.
What, like overtime or some shit?
Not even overtime. Like you don't have to ball. Like you could go to school and just
get an NIL deal
and ball. Yeah, like ball in this other league. Another like farm league to go.
Yeah.
Type of shit.
What league is this?
It's not to replace school, but they're trying to just be like, yo,
it's in conjunction. It's like almost like AAAU. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go to whatever school you want, but you can play on this team.
You could go ahead, right? And you're doing you can run your brand.
Yeah,
business. Exactly. You're doing whatever makes sense for you. And I was like, like it hasn't been rolled out yet, but I forgot who's at the helm.
They're talking about it,
but they're trying to get that shit in motion. And I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. I guess the NCAA's opened themselves up to like other people. Like, yeah, that's not working.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I'm like, damn, bro, that's kind of crazy. Like, this shit has been a behemoth for all these
years.
The
NCAA isn't working. I feel like the NIL gave it new life in the sense of kids now aren't just straight up being like, I'm not going to school. I can go make money. But like now you can make money so you can go to school and make money.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but now kids are gonna go another. If I don't
Yeah.
even have to go to school,
I don't even have to go to school.
I'm not gonna go to school.
Yeah.
And because like y'all were late to the party, now we're doing it.
Yeah.
But now people are just gonna like, no, I'm just gonna
like
do
these options are already. I like I might be now school age, but I was looking at that thing since I was like in 8th grade.
Bro,
you know what I'm
like,
saying? So like now that I'm college age, it's like I wasn't even thinking about going to college. Like since 8th grade, I've been thinking about like going this route.
And the paradigm is shifted where it's like, yo, I've been doing all of this to monetize off of this sport. Yeah. These opportunities are coming several years sooner now. Yeah. Why do I like, because that is the tradition? No, I don't have to go that route.
Yeah.
You know, before, you remember we used to even have the time before like what 04, 05 where they had you could go from high school to the league. Right. Yeah. And then they cut that off. I heard now it's still a matter of I could still go high school and be a professional.
Maybe I heard they were trying to bring the straight from high school to the league back.
See, I don't know if I'd be a proponent of that, but I love that there's these new middle.
Wait, grounds. You wouldn't be for that?
I don't think I don't like literally when I see these prospects coming out, I don't think that
they're not
ready
NBA.
For the league.
They're not NBA ready anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because I think
even even from all these phenoms that have been coming out too, like they've been playing professional. Like Luka's been playing.
I was about to say like Luka even because like he came into the league when he was like 18.
Yeah, but
he's been playing professional.
But the competition was very different.
But what I'm saying, like if you level. As soon as you graduate high school, say you're 18 years old, who's to say I haven't been playing against professional level competition?
Depending on where you're playing at, I would change my answer. But if you're playing in America and the US, no, I don't think any of these like
can't go from Oak Hill to
skill. This is the thing. Skill wise is one thing, right? Yeah. But literally your body, how many minutes you're gonna even be able to like you're gonna ride. You're just gonna be on the bench instead of
that's fine. No, I feel like that's fine if you're gonna be on the bench.
No, you should be developing and you need minutes.
G League,
you should be. If they want to, I'm not opposed to that. If they want to go that route, I'm just saying.
Wasn't it like
you need to get burned at that time?
Wasn't it like Ricky Rubio or somebody that got drafted and then didn't actually like come to the league until like a year or two after that? Do you remember what I'm talking about? Was it? I want to say it was Ricky Rubio. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah,
I think that was the situation.
Yeah, that I don't know why that just made me think of that because like if you draft a player and then just send him to the G League for like 2 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but now we have a point in the league right now. The league is literally.
How old is Wemby?
Wemby's 21.
Okay, so he's been playing professional.
He's
but like, this wasn't his first year eligible, but this wasn't his first like draft eligible year, was it? Or was it? But it's not like he came out of high school and went to
right, exactly. Yeah, he's been pros, but like, and even just the league right now is just in an age where the NBA is focused on the brand of its basketball, and it's kind of like.
But some of these high schoolers be like stars. I don't know about any athlete stars, but I'm thinking about like your average influencer. Like you can be in high school and be a famous influencer.
A lot of these players, you're not like we could go into the draft. A lot of these players, lottery picks, are not in the league at all. They're 25, 20. I'm saying a lot of players are getting drafted, but end up riding the bench. G League. These are all the prospects over the years. Oh, this player.
From the college pool.
Right. Exactly. From the college pool, and then we see the star. I'm like, bro, that's cool. They're stars. There was a whole draft. I'm telling you, 80% of the lottery picks of these drafts are not doing at all what they're projected to be. And the reason why I bring that up is because. Then we push players like John Wall out the league and other things are like Carmelo. And
it is unbelievable to me that John Wall's not in the league anymore. That's crazy.
They cannot be on a roster. Yeah. The thing is,
you got so many new young players coming in.
Players have, it's like you're bringing personalities in, but we're going to give you a veteran minimum. We're not going to give you maybe something that maybe might feel like even players might be accepting of the veteran minimum, but are like to just have you right at the end of the bench. Like, are you going to accept the role that we have to play for? So many things where we can just get this rookie contract. Like, don't have to worry about anything.
He's got to do whatever. He's happy to be here.
Exactly. And so I think just the league is very at a funny time. But looking at the prospects, there's a lot of NBA executives, they don't like to put their name on shit. But it was just
like when they say some shit,
yeah,
like
right.
like where they think somebody's gonna
Twitter,
go
right.
or some shit.
Like,
they'll be like one
some
NBA executive.
Exactly. And one of them had said, this draft class is arguably the worst draft class ever in the past 40
They was talking
years.
about
was
what's the kid
like,
from Purdue, Edie,
bro,
being like a I've never seen him play, so I'm not going to knock him, but I did not know who he was going into this year.
He's the type of player where I'm like, yeah, bro, like there's not really nobody else, so we're gassing Edie.
Yeah,
you know, like he's cool.
Yeah,
but that's the best player. That's what we're saying. Like if you see him, you'll be like,
but I was going to say
like
this.
Tyler Hansborough.
Oh,
you remember
man.
Tyler Hansborough?
I do remember a college dog, a college dog. But like,
I mean, you had some.
What you gonna be in?
You have some X Factor minutes, and not to say Edie gonna be that.
But where is he? Even like, Tyler Hansborough now? Like, where is he now?
I mean, he fizzled out quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
but yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking about the draft. Like
but women's, I don't feel like that. I think it's whole.
But let me say this about the draft real quick. They still pick from anywhere in the world. Like, how does a Luka get to be a lottery pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does a Wemby get to? They still pick from wherever they want to pick from. Which I'm also curious about, like how that happens. Like, is it anybody that's of professional age can be drafted during this process, or is it like? Because I understand that about, like you said, about 80% of the people who get drafted, they're probably also college from the NCAA. About 80% of them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I'm trying to think, what is that process of being like draft eligible? Can you come from anywhere? Like, are motherfuckers from the overtime league gonna come and get drafted?
I think it's just the minimum of maybe years played at whatever type level after 18. You know, so like some players I think it might have been Luka's case, like, you know, the way your birthday lands, like you end up in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
On a technicality,
right? But
this year versus next year,
right? Yeah, you know, but even now the pool is like the whole and this would be definitely a good, interesting topic to even bring back. Like, shout out to Lou.
Yeah,
when we had him, talk about that.
Lou,
we talk about basketball and whatnot. Yeah, just the farm system, because now I'll be like, these international ball players, like the skill set that they're coming in, the fundamental set, like it's more fitting of what the game is today. Yeah, and a lot of players here, it's like we're so do the drills and the skills and all that type shit, but like in terms of the gameplay, it's like it doesn't. It's like it's more of a, how do I say, players are coming more on an individual base, and it doesn't just correlate in the league. The league is a star-driven league.
Yeah,
so everybody wants to be a star, but it's like, no, bro, you have to play a role be the team. Look at the Nuggets. Like, there's a lot of players on the team. Like, we could be doing something else on another team, but I'm doing these stats on this team because that's what they need me to do.
And it's very interesting.
And a lot of players have egos coming out because I've been a winner my whole career, high school,
or like,
now it's like I'm ready to ball. I want to ball.
It's very interesting the conclusion that you came to as far as like why they have that mentality.
I
don't know if it's because I don't know if it's because like they've been winning their whole life. I feel like the game has evolved into a very like ISO kind of scoring. Just that's or not the league, but like the game of basketball. Like how basketball is played is more ISO driven than like team basketball. But
I'm saying, like, you can be like a lot of these prospects. I'm not a prospect because I've been like I'm a winner to a degree. Like, the reason I'm on my college team is because my team was nationally ranked in high school and I was a top prospect. Now I'm in college. If I'm on a subpar team and I get like drafted, it's because I was just looking transcendent. Like, that's a generational player, right? Like John Morant on Murray State. It wasn't like Murray State. Oh, they're going so crazy. Him.
He was going
out of
crazy.
This world.
Once he leaves there, Murray State could be non-existent.
Get him, right? But then you come into the league and then you come on a team like the Pistons. And now it's like, damn, everybody on this team is young and is like, oh, I'm a scorer.
I'm a scorer. Yeah.
Oh, but like I'm trying to like.
But also, like, how do we
have to play? Yeah. We have to find our roles in real time, and it's like it's kind of crazy because if there's not no structure, nobody to be like, yo, bruh, this is what you need to be doing. Like, I know you can create your own shot, but
or like at least one anchor of like, this is kind of, I don't want to say who the team runs through because that makes it again individualistic, but at least you need like a structure
on the Rockets.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like you need like a pillar.
You need that.
You know
right, bro.
Like,
right. You need a captain.
Yeah.
Who's the captain that can steer this?
Yeah.
You know?
Even if he's not the one scoring all the points or whatever the fuck.
I think Jalen Green is a perfect example who's coming on
he's been going
now.
crazy. But I feel like because there's no Kevin
season.
Porter Jr.'s not there no more, right?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like there's no Kevin Porter Jr. there where like literally what was it last year he was there or 2 years ago? It was like both of them being what Jalen Green is now. It was like both of them having a night like that, and then a night where they both go ghost, or where they're both not on. You know what I'm saying?
Even with Jalen Green, it was interesting because Van Vliet came, and this first half of the season, he didn't really know his place.
Yeah.
His averages all down. You're like, bro, he was just after 22 last season.
Yeah.
Like, should average like 15. Like, and he's shooting though.
Yeah.
But he's off. And then you also see Alprin's rise too. He's he is the focal point.
Oh my gosh. That's a whole nother. I forgot. Like that is, it really do kind of run through.
Kind of just changed because Ime's there first year. Yeah. So the way they running this team
they got a really good
has
squad.
Shifted. But after All-Star break and after all of this, the dry and shit and all that, like Jalen Green now kind of he's like, oh, I know exactly how to play into this role. And it's cool to see because I'm like, bruh, Jalen Green.
But now it looked like I was about to say. Now it looked like he is the pillar. I understand what you say.
Alprin's out.
Oh,
he's
is
injured.
he? Oh,
he's been injured. So he stepped into the role.
Because it's like 35, 42, 36. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going nuts right now.
It's good.
I don't know if he still is, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now that's a big fact. But that's it's really interesting on that side of things. I think before I had asked about the draft structure, you were saying about the woman's side. Were you going to say that like their draft is really heavy?
I just think.
Or what were you going to say?
I just think the brand of women basketball, and like what I've been hearing, like a lot of these analysts been saying that cover like women's basketball. They're like, no, we're just really glad that now people are like tuned in. It's always been lit, but now that like it's getting. Like,
I don't know if it's always been lit, and this is not a knock on women's basketball.
And I'm not here to.
I'm not. It's just like I think. And I don't know, it could be the marketing of it. It could be I don't know what the secret sauce that is going on this year.
But this is the thing though. It's a matter of it's like the stars really.
I'm about to say the stars are really like rising to the top.
Game and we're like, oh, this is a good game. Like it's actually a good game.
You know what's funny is that
I've been realizing. I'm like, oh shit. This to me really going back and forth. I'm like, oh, I'm tuned in.
To me, it's the consistency of the stars. It's like you can hear about a star. So in prior years, you might hear about somebody being nice. You tune into the game and like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really get nothing. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that, people aren't watching every single women's basketball game that comes on. So like if you might tune in like, oh, like let me give this joint a shot, you might not be impressed with what you see. Whereas somebody like Caitlin Clark, any game you watch, she's gonna go off. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, when I'm watching her highlights from the Elite 8 game, it's like unreal. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's really going off. And also, it's not even just the 41 points. She had 41 points and 12 assists. I'm like, the whole offense ran through her. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, there's a renaissance happening even with the women's talent. We're gonna see more prospects.
That's what I'm saying. Because even like really you see like somebody like Juju, and also too, I'm watching the dominance. I'm watching the dominance of South Carolina and really Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is like she reminds me of like Dion in a sense. Like not only is she like really nice at what she does and gets everybody, she balled as a player. You know what I'm saying? She can rally people to ball for her consistently, and she's also got like a cool personality. You know what I'm saying?
Even Gino though, UConn, right? I mean,
is he still there?
They have five players injured right now, and they made it to the. Everybody ran them off.
Yeah,
and Buchers was funny. There's Molly Kieran was saying today too that she's been injured primarily these past 2 years, so that's why her name. isn't even
as big as it
big
was,
these names,
yeah, or
but
it should
like,
be, as it
she's
should
really
be.
like
Yeah,
that
she really
too.
like that.
She
Yeah,
really liked. She just really been injured.
yeah.
So it's really been dope to see. I'm like, all right, there's a couple names.
Look at her,
now that
Buchers,
watching for,
28 and 10. Juju Watkins, 29 and 10.
And she was
Yeah.
strapping, steals
Yeah.
everywhere. I was like, damn, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like we said with Angel Reese too, like it's just a lot of people, it's a lot of shorties that are like, yeah, really nice. And then when you tune in to watch them, they're, you know what I'm saying, they show you what you tuned in for. You know what I'm saying? So that's really dope to see.
They saying Juju gonna be the one. No,
I mean, she's got to be. She's all like. If we didn't live in a world where Caitlin Clark was in, you know what I'm saying, she would be.
Is the greatest to me that I've seen.
Female basketball player
that I see.
You don't think Caitlin Clark is better than her,
bro? Caitlin Clark ain't won no 2 MVPs, 3 fucking finals, 3 MVP. I'm saying my award at every level.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark. All right, you're the greatest.
Oh, you're greatest. On all levels,
women basketball.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. Right, I hear you. And I'm also not trying to argue against Maya Moore. Like she's tough.
Come on now, like get to the league.
Yeah. Then we can, and then a whole new assessment starts.
Massey, shout out Massey. Maya Moore, fucking she won that shit fucking 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
the shit.
Yeah.
Nah, this is a goat shit, man.
in women's basketball, when somebody dominates, they dominate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's and really what's
shout
crazy.
Out the stars, you got like Breanna Stewart, you have fucking what was I about to say? Asia Wilson.
The Aces?
Yeah, right, on the Aces. That's hella star power.
Yeah, no, that's facts. No, fuck my glasses up. Oh, you know, you said something. So we talked a little bit about how, like, you talked a little bit about how just like the landscape is changing with the NIL and everything like this. Mm-hmm. This kind of made me, and I think it's interesting how there really is a shifting of the guard in college sports all around. Yeah. Like, we saw on the college football side how Nick Saban was like, oh, you know, I got to get up out of here. He basically, without saying so many words, this nigga said, like, I got to get out of here because I don't like how these players just like have so much leverage and they don't care about the shit that I stand on.
Basically,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, I can get to the league without going to Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
What they're saying.
And I'm looking at how
the system. No, you just don't like that.
You don't like what's going on,
and y'all are losing the power. You're
losing the power. Exactly.
That's why you don't like it. And it's very simple. It's that.
This literally makes me think about what's happening with the NFL draft, with like Caleb Williams not participating in medical stuff. Marvin Harrison Jr. not showing up to the combine at all. But this nigga, they were expecting him. But they were expecting him. Like, he didn't show up for his time slot, and they were just like, I don't think he's coming.
But the player's like, but I bet you still.
Oh no, he's like, draft me. He's like, let me slide. He said, let me slide. Someone's gonna. He said, don't draft me. Somebody will. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think about college players just starting to like super exercise their leverage? Hey, do you think there's a way in which it can go too far?
If you got the, I feel like if you got the leverage, use it, because I'm trying to tell you, they on the other side will not hesitate to make the business decision.
Yeah, facts.
So in these sports, it's not about, oh, let me put my. There's no putting in shoes of do what's best for you.
Yeah,
and however you can get to wherever you're trying to go, the smoothest road possible, I'm with it. But also understand when it's time for negotiations and when these and
it's time to like play ball.
When it's like now they're doing like those contracts for like the league, like how they're gonna go with player agreements and things like that. Just know that sometimes you set yourself up for losing leverage when that comes, right? When it's time to come to the table and shit like that. But all in all, I think as a player, you should always go for your best interest. Yeah. And if you're the only time you should consider it is if, for instance, to like put like basketball, like Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
You're with the Cleveland Cavaliers. y'all actually look like y'all have a real promising future if
Mhm.
y'all keep this intact. If you leave,
Although they look
if
terrible last night.
right,
Did you
right,
watch that
right,
game last night? They
I
look
see,
terrible
not
last
see,
night.
but all
Yeah,
in
they
all,
look
this
terrible.
season, I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
having a good season.
right. So I'm like, and y'all definitely have a future. If y'all leave, if you leave though, that definitely like stunts it.
Mhm.
But if you stay put, like this,
Y'all could build something.
This y'all
Y'all
can
could
really build.
something. Yeah.
And then the thing is, you wouldn't even be making a sacrifice with the money.
Yeah.
You would just, do you want to stay here in Cleveland?
That
would be
me,
the commitment where you're at location wise. But
speaking of Cleveland,
you know,
like I know that's not the point of this part of the conversation,
right.
but like they remind me of like the Pistons, like with Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace and all them. Not like the makeup of their team, but just how like that's a situation where like if the chemistry hits right, you know what I'm saying? Like they could do something. They could probably win a championship because like Donovan Mitchell does have those moments where he like turns up like he's the guy and he can be the guy on any team. Right. And then you have somebody like Darius Garland who like can be a guy, but like also really focuses on distributing, but he can score when he needs to. And then you got the Twin Towers down low, like. Yeah, that could be a crazy team if they get the chemistry right. But if we're going back to the like the college players using their leverage, I agree with you, and I think like use the leverage. I do think though that it applies to some people, and you got to know who you are and like be realistic of whether this applies to you. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvin Harrison Jr. can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the thing.
Like Caleb Williams can do that.
You're saying something very important. As a player, though, be very mindful and aware of where you stand in all of this, and know that
even if you are making NIL money, you can make your NIL money, but like that in and of itself don't mean that you got a future in the NFL. There
are always exceptions to the rule, and a lot of people are not that.
I'm about to say, what do you think is the rule here? Comply, play ball, and Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams are exceptions.
I mean, if you're last, if you got to know what you can pull. Like, bro, if your name ain't on nobody's map, you better be pulling up to the combine.
This also makes me think about, did you hear about Deion Sanders saying like he will pull like an Eli Manning type deal for Shador and for Travis Hunter? Did you hear that?
Again, he would do it. Last name Sanders, Eli, last name Manning. Don't think you can pull that.
I'm thinking, Eli, last name Manning.
Don't think you can do it, and you're not that.
Even Marvin Harrison is a Marvin Harrison. Like,
look, that's a wild card to pull. Like,
but when you got it, you use it.
What you mean? Oh, that's
when you got it, you use it.
What happened? Eli won 2.
Everybody don't got that card. Yeah, that's enough. He did enough. He did enough. That's and Philip Rivers probably arguably take away the Super Bowls, take away like Super Bowl importance, and Philip Rivers arguably has a better career.
It's better. He is a better quarterback. Yes, but guess what? One will be in the Hall of Fame. The other one they will argue.
And the Giants as a team, and both as a team, the makeup of your team is different when you got Super Bowl banners. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think the Chargers have won a Super Bowl ever.
No,
in their franchise history.
Maybe in like the old age. I don't know.
Back when it was 7 teams. Back when it was 11, 12 teams.
Because they've had many good teams.
Yeah,
they've had many good teams. Man.
I mean that LT and Philip Rivers era and Antonio Gates era was like Junior Seau and them like
man, they've had teams. They've had
making
teams.
Deep playoff runs. We're going all over the place. But now that here we're at NFL, Stephon Diggs getting traded to the Texans. That's crazy. Man. That is crazy. The Texans are loaded. They're loaded, bro. And what's funny is that
they wiped his contract clean, so it's just a 1 year. So
really? So it's really just like a test.
Really let him
really like a test.
Like just 1 year, we're good. We'll see if we like it on both sides. So it's love.
But really dogs, CJ Stroud already to me is like a monster. He got that. CJ Stroud got that like winner mentality that like he's going to win a bowl at some point in his career. Like even what he did with the Texans this year, like a couple of those games that they won were solely because of like his will, which was really interesting to see. And then I don't know if you ever saw
Nico
this
Collins
clip.
And Tank Dell are really good.
Oh no, no, big facts, big facts
to that. That receiver course,
and they picked up Joe Mixon, which is stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got Joe Mixon in the backfield. Yeah, really that's crazy. Dalton Schultz, a tight end. You know what I'm saying? That's actually a really crazy skill like skill, like set of skill
Yeah.
positions
What,
right there.
D'Amico Ryan, right? The coach.
Yeah,
He doing that.
I think he won Coach of the Year last year. So,
Yeah,
and also too, I'm looking at Damian Pierce. Damian Pierce last year, I think he was a rookie or maybe a second year player or something like that. He's young and he had a decent season for like somebody who's like virtually unknown.
Right.
Damian Pierce, I remember his name. He had some good games last year, but yeah, I'm thinking about how because they're in the AFC South with Jacksonville, who
but they probably
was like the darling of that. I was about to say, like, Travis Lawrence is really like on the clock now. You gotta do something.
They're the ones they automatically there.
Oh, because the Colts also still got Anthony Richardson, who they
love, but they're the number one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But I'm trying to think. So it's clear cut number one is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're clear cut. I mean, Titans now it's a new era. It's gonna be Will Levi or Levy. I don't know, but Derrick Henry's gone too, so they're also in the midst of rebuilding, trying to shift shit. Jaguars really don't know what to expect. Don't know what they got players. They got some players at some skill roles, but Trevor Lawrence has come up short in big moments sometimes. Underwhelmed last season.
The
season was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
So
you're right about that, because I still like Trevor Lawrence. I'm not giving up on him by no means, but like last year didn't.
This year he has the ball.
You can't have 2 bad years in a row.
He has the ball this year,
or 2 mediocre years in a row, or we're gonna just call you mediocre.
Definitely gonna have questions. For sure. He has the ball this year. But I like.
He wasn't first overall, was he? He was first overall. He was like he was
the golden boy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But I was gonna say you wanna let's get into. I know you wanted to get into some taxes, right?
Oh yeah. So it's very interesting. You had asked me the last episode about
when it changed. You started file. So like a brief recap, you started filing it as opposed to like going to like your regular like tax
like
agent,
an accountant or something.
And then you basically just said you did it because you actually found there are many ways that it was more beneficial for you to do that, because you found like a lot of more like cuts for yourself.
But so I feel like for the last like 8 years or so, I've been gathering a little bit of knowledge like every year as far as like how accounting works, right? So I think this was definitely the year that I just decided to like file them myself, just to see like what that process was like, just to kind of add to my experience and my knowledge and everything like that. But I definitely thought it would be valuable to kind of go through some tax strategies that I've like learned about for a minute, and then also like have been implementing, but in doing my own taxes this year, like kind of got hipper to, if that makes sense, or more hip to, you know what I'm saying? So
together and then some.
Say that again.
It all came together and then some.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely
multiply. Oh wow. Okay,
absolutely.
This is what the fuck.
So I feel like, like one of the big things that I learned was just like understanding what is happening when you're like filing your taxes. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, throughout the year, your based on what your income is, your like they estimate, like they were absolutely, but they'll take out a certain amount of tax. Say you have like a W-2 job, they'll take out a certain amount of taxes, anticipate like based off what you make from that job. But when you're filing your taxes, it's based on all of your income. So essentially, it's what they think, like there's a number that you do owe based on your tax bracket. There's a number that you do owe. There's a number that you pay based on like what they anticipate you'll owe. And then the difference between those two numbers determine whether you get a refund or whether you have to pay more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your tax liability is, you know what I'm saying? So literally, if you paid more than you were supposed to pay, you get a refund. If you didn't pay as much as you were supposed to pay, then you get a tax bill. You know what I'm saying? So a lot, because a lot of people get excited like their refund is like extra money. It's like money that you already should have had. You just gave it out. You know what I'm saying? It's literally called a refund. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was like that's like understanding that, I think, was really like paramount for me.
And that vice versa for the 1099, right? Like make sure you keep that shit accounted, because you
will have to pay. Yeah, y'all about to say you will have to pay.
You did it the whole year. you know, you didn't pay it. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
And I know there's also ways that, you know, I have to get, you know, familiarize myself even more, but I know there's some ways people even handle their taxes quarterly. Have you ever heard of that? Like,
yeah. So
if they're for businesses, I feel like more so than individual, but maybe it's individual as well too. But I have heard of that too.
yeah.
People do that, take advantage in some
There's
ways.
what I've heard is interesting because I was talking to our accountant the other day, like yesterday, I think actually, and he was saying how you you can estimate what your taxes are supposed to be, so you can set money aside for it.
Right.
So you're not like, you know, putting together a lump sum at the end of the year.
Right.
Or you can, I don't know if like as an individual you can, but I know as a corporation you can just pay your taxes quarterly. But also too, like if you run payroll, you pay that quarterly. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's it depends. It definitely depends on your situation. But I think some important things to understand is that, like, based on your income, you fall within a certain tax bracket, and that determines the percentage that you pay in taxes. You know what I'm saying? So it's I find it valuable. I think it's important to anticipate what your tax bill. It's about not being surprised at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? And then also too understanding what makes up your taxable income. You know what I'm saying? Because the money that you make, say you have a W-2 job like most people do, the money that you make from your W-2 job is income, but there's also other sources of income. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you make money on like selling off of, I'm about to say selling crypto, selling gambling earnings, like there's a lot of things that go into
Venmo, things of that nature,
all of
things
that.
Like that. Was it gifted to you? Or like there's a lot of things that you can log in.
Gifts, I don't think they don't taxable income, but
you making that distinction, right? Or
facts.
like, no, I don't have to get taxed on that. That was a gift, right? Like,
I guess you understanding what's what. You know what I'm saying? Like you understanding what's what is important. And then I think it's also important to understand how you can decrease your taxable income. You know what I'm saying? So like, say you make a certain amount, if you take advantage of like tax deductions, you can decrease the amount that you're taxed on. You know what I'm saying? So like there's certain ways in which that you spend your money that are tax deductible. A lot of people have probably heard that term. But what that basically does is just like decrease the amount that you can be taxed on. So say you make $100,000 from your, just to use a round number, $100,000 from a W-2 job. That $100,000 is your taxable income as is. Whereas if you do something like contribute to a 401k, 403b, IRA, things like that, say you contribute, I think the max is like 7,000 to an IRA. If you contribute, I think they raised it to 7,000 or something around there. But if we're still using just like round numbers, if you contribute $7,000 to an IRA, you subtract that 7,000 from the 100,000, so your taxable income now becomes 97,000 or 93,000. Sorry. So like knowing that is, you know, because then it gives you a reason to contribute to your 401ks, to your IRAs.
And that only benefits you. That only is
big facts.
You know, that appreciates in the long term too.
And then like other things that you can, if you make note of investment losses, a lot of some investment losses are tax deductible. You know what I'm saying? So if you sell stocks or crypto at a loss in the calendar year, if you have a business or like a 1099 kind of a situation, whether that's like an LLC or you just work as an independent contractor, the expenses that you incur in doing those activities, you know what I'm saying? That's all tax deductible. So I was able to like deduct a lot from what my tax liability would have been. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that even goes from company car, company office.
There's a lot of shit. Yeah.
Business meetings.
Dog,
lunches,
if you like,
so many, as long as you take an account of it, there's a lot of things.
That's the thing. A lot. You just gotta be aware of it. Like it was a long time before I got aware of these things. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you're aware of it, kind
You
of.
gotta have some annual awareness to it throughout the
Yeah.
year. Just always
what's
have
funny-
it in your mind that
And it's reminders too,
let me just
because
keep organized throughout this. Make sure
yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
keep. And there's like shout out QuickBooks. You know, I just
yeah,
started
yeah.
using.
Oh,
that,
word, yeah.
yeah, about like 2-3 months ago, and I'm like, man, this shit really
Just keeping things together. What do you like
lets
about
you
it?
know exactly, boom, where the money is being spent, how much the cash flow coming in, and how you can just divvy it. I just love how analytical it gets, and it's
Yeah.
like this shit in itself tells a story of your
Bro.
business or your expenses, literally. And if you're
It's
a
so
visual
funny.
person, it's like,
Yeah.
well, look, just look exactly. It's gonna show you.
It's so
you
funny
know?
that you said that, because the thing I love about actually tracking money, and I think I said this last week, where it's like that shit really does tell you a story of like just how your life has been. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And then it kind of makes you look like, damn, like I've been spending this much on food. Like, what's going on? Like, why? Like, or like what's going into all of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm spending this much when I go here. If I don't go out for a weekend, like this is what it looks like. If I don't go out for like a month, this is what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at my electricity bills these days. Like, I've just been looking at like how much do I, because I had some kind of realization the other day. I'm like, damn, I really be leaving lights on. I be leaving the TV on. Like, what am I doing all this shit for? So I've been more conscious about turning things off, and my electricity bill is lowering. And I'm just like, oh, it's interesting to see how I'm seeing, like, it's like you literally seeing the story through my shit.
100%.
But yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's
Makes
very
it
interesting.
easier for you to act on it, right?
Yeah,
Instead of you
yeah.
be like, oh, I gotta.
And it's interesting.
track for you,
I've
you know?
heard that people don't even like look, like people don't even like checking their bank account.
Yeah, like people be like, I just want.
Yeah,
like,
that's
crazy.
I check my bank account like 3 times a day, and I don't even know why. Like, I think because I'm not on social media no more. I just got to check something.
But I feel like, thinking like that is how you like should always be cyclical, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna like be able to stack your funds to make your money just work a little bit more for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
and make
yeah.
more money for you. You're always just working for the dollar.
Yeah.
And just keep,
You definitely want to
know?
see what's going on. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? I think that's important.
100%.
But yeah, so understanding tax deductions is important, and also too, tax credits, which are a little bit different than tax deductions, just in the sense that there's literal things that I guess the IRS will essentially like wipe out, like dollar for dollar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know me and my boy Lucas one time was talking about, he was telling me about tax credits for electric vehicles. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you buy an electric vehicle, like up to like $5,000, like you can just write that off on your taxes. And there's a lot of things like that. Like, I'm sure you've heard, like with the solar panels. I'm not exactly sure how that goes, but I think if you have solar panels, that's like a tax deduction or some shit. But there's a bunch of shit that and all of this can be like seen online. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to sit here and make it seem like I know everything, like I know everything, or that like this is all just knowledge that like sits in my head. This is all shit that I've seen online, and I've kind of like learned and implemented throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? But I think knowing it, I mean, it's very interesting. Like, every year we gotta do our taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because like this is last year was the year that I thought I was like tapped in. You know what I'm saying? Last year was the year I thought, oh, I'm taking advantage of everything. This year that I actually did it, that's why I was really just like, damn, like I'm not even taking advantage of everything. Yeah. So I'm like, this is the year. And I even thought I had my books together last year. Like, it wasn't as clean and tight as it could have been. And that's kind of what I'm realizing this year. But all of that shit is yeah, that shit just like is like really interesting to me. And oh my God, I don't know if you heard about speaking of like W-2s and stuff like this. Did you hear about the there's I think California just passed like a law where they have to do $20 minimum wage, like 20. They had raised the minimum wage to $20 for restaurant workers. And I think what's interesting about that, I found that situation very interesting, because I think we've talked in the past about how like people don't really think about the opportunity, like the cost of what they're asking for, right? And I had seen a story about how almost immediately after that law was put into place, like restaurants started shutting down. You know what I'm saying? Like, people Like they were trying to help people by giving them minimum wage, and then those people ended up just like losing their jobs. Now they gotta like find new jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That shit just struck me the other day, and I was just like,
man.
damn, that shit is interesting to think about, because I don't think, people, I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know. I feel like a lot of businesses always that sustainability issues, like, because a lot of businesses I feel like can be running, and sometimes they're running. We have enough to just operate.
Like, or we operate.
The minute something like that may happen, it's like we're under.
I think so. Like when I hear that policy, it's very interesting, because a part of me is like, like people should make as much as they can. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody should make as much as they can. I absolutely believe that. But you can't just pull arbitrary numbers out of nowhere and be like, I should make this. Depending on where you are, what you make, it has to justify what we make off of the work that you do. You know what I'm saying? So it was very interesting to hear that, you know what I'm saying? They just said like the minimum wage got to be this, but also like juxtapose that with, I was watching last week, and fucking the episode was about like tipping culture and like delivery services and stuff like this. And it was talking about, and it kind of veered into like the restaurant space where, you know what I'm saying, restaurant workers get like, you know, $2, $3 an hour, and they make most of their money on tips. And I'm sitting here thinking like, how is that even like, how does it fall on the customers of the business to like pay the actual wage of the waiters and the waitresses?
We're just hoping that it just
covers, you know what I'm saying? Like
hoping that they tip today.
Yeah, I'm like, how is it okay for the restaurants to be like, we're gonna pay you $3? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it makes sense to be like 20. I feel like it should be what the minimum wage is. The federal minimum wage is like $15. Yeah, no, 3 is absolutely nuts. 3 is absolutely nuts. And I'm saying like it should be like whatever the federal minimum wage is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's
Monday.
It's raining. I'm weak. No business. People aren't coming in. People aren't coming in. But that's really what the. I mean, it makes me okay. This I feel like I'm going in circles, because like I'm on like both. I'm thinking from both sides of this, but I'm also just like, okay, does this kind of prove that like what is even the restaurant industry? Like if
cutthroat. Shit's fucking cutthroat.
Like if you're not on the top, if you're not one of the premium joints, because my whole thought process behind this is like, if the selling of the food don't make enough to pay the people that prepare the food and serve the food, how does the shit work? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like we probably got to do a deep dive into that. Like do some like journalistic research. Do like some journalistic research and have like a deep dive episode on that. Because I don't understand how the restaurant industry works if that's the situation where basically the customers pay. Like the venue itself can't pay the workers a living wage, and it's got to depend on customers to come in. And because like if it's dead that day, like you said, if it's Monday and it's raining, who's coming in? You know what I'm saying?
It's a tough business.
I guess that's why like DoorDash and Uber used to pop in. But I think that's all we got for this week's episode. Is there anything else we could tap on? I'm trying to think. I feel like that was a good little conversation for folks.
For sure, man. I think y'all need to subscribe though.
There you go.
Y'all want more content.
There you go.
Like,
say
no more. You know, and we definitely catch y'all next week.
Next week.
You know, real early.
Yeah.
Early.